Okay, Reality Supreme Being on the air again. It's October 8th, 2011. There's a lot of things I could talk about. You know, I've been depressed for a long time. A depression that's caused by the society I live in. Medically, it's called situational depression. A situation that is caused not by me, but by your collective society, America. America's an evil country. I've got more than 60 videos. Some of them have been hacked into by who knows who. Maybe YouTube took stuff out. You know, when I talk about children in Iraq and the murder and the carnage that's gone on of innocent people over there are people here that are mistreated too by the color of law, by abuse of the color of law. People like me, I've talked about it before. You know, people don't want to listen to me. Like I said, they want to see sex and sexy stuff. They want to see Lady Gaga. They're all juvenile in their brain. They've got pea size, a pea. Stupid headphones just don't work with a darn. I don't understand why they change the headphones all the time in this place. And when you're trying to get comfortable. Anyway. So, you know, I'm a presidential candidate. Whoop-de-doo. You know, like I told you in the last recording, I stood on Sunset Boulevard and La Cienega, and when Obama was here last month, and talked with the bullhorn. NBC was right across the street. I'm a legitimate presidential candidate, and they didn't come over and even think of interviewing me because I mentioned the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission. It was all in my speech. I could have taped it and recorded it, but you know what? From now on, I'm going to put when I go to these events, I'm just going to put my stuff on a cassette and play it through the bullhorn because it's too tiring to sit there and talk about it all off the top of your head. Besides, your humanity doesn't deserve my compassionate intelligence because you people don't have any compassion. You haven't proved it at all. All you care about is yourselves, your selfishness, the taxes you pay, the excuses, underline the word, the big excuses that you make for paying taxes, saying, oh, you'll go to jail if you don't pay your taxes. But that doesn't change the fact that your tax dollars, 75% of it or more, goes to the military, and that's used to kill innocent men, women, and children in Iraq and Afghanistan. And some of those tax dollars actually do harm to people like me and other people who are downtrodden, people who actually have really valiantly, and I underline the word valiantly, tried to stay alive, tried to survive, tried to make do with what they have. And instead of being commended for it, they got criticized, attacked, jailed. They found any excuse. The City of Los Angeles, Building and Safety, the LA Fire Department, the Police Department, Parking Enforcement, found any excuse they could to destroy my life and other people like me. And I'm only talking about the people that don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs, don't do any of that crap. That's me. I don't do any of that stuff. Never have, and yet I'm a presidential candidate, and I am being totally censored, absolutely censored. Like they'll interview the head of WikiLeaks, but they won't interview me. They won't take the trouble to cross the street and interview me. When I went to the Republican convention in San Diego, way back when when Clinton was running against the other guy, what's his name, the Republican, who was a prisoner of war. I just dispense with those names out of my mind. Robert Dole. No one aired any interviews that I did at that San Diego convention because, like I said, anybody that talks about the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, the rich money interest, these people are, the reporters are scared for their jobs because they know that if they even present an idea like that, they'll be told, no, that's not newsworthy. And that's it. What's going on in your country is evil, and it's killing people like me. I've told you before in my other videos, I'm just waiting to die. My teeth are bad from the stress that your country caused me. Your city of Los Angeles, your county of Los Angeles, your state of California, your United States of America caused me stress. I ground my teeth away now, and that was after taking care of my teeth. I used to have 6 crowns. Now I got nothing. I got 2 crowns left, and the rest of my teeth are broken, and that's from the stress of what your society has caused on me. So I had a few people that came on YouTube and said, "Oh, you could take silicone," and I appreciate all of those comments. I really do appreciate it. But that's not going to undo the damage that's already been done. These are damages that cannot be erased. That's why I've told the White House, the president, other governments throughout the world, I am your permanent enemy. You will never have me on your side. There is no common ground between me and the creatures that call themselves human beings on this whole planet. You're all jerks and morons for the damages that you do to each other and for the damages that you do concurrently every day to people like me. I mean, any number of alternative avenues could have been taken when I was going through all that pain and suffering, and that pain and suffering is still going on because you people institute laws to create an absolute dictatorial behavior modification of people's goals and values. And underline those, remember those words, an absolute dictatorship behavior modification plan. That is what's going on with every single person in the United States and every single person all over the world. This isn't about the New World Order. This isn't about some rich families keeping their stinking lousy money in their own family. This is about behavior modification gone to the absolute extreme. And it's done subliminally, and it's done with your stamp of approval every time you pay 1 penny of tax. As a Gandhiist, I am telling you, stop paying your taxes. If you're in France, Italy, Germany, tell the government that, which finger I would put up here if I could without getting interviewed. Tell the government this. Okay? That's what the Queen does. She goes like this. She doesn't retract three of the fingers on his hand to show you what she really is saying. I'll never be knighted. This country, I should have probably won dozens of Nobel Prizes by now with the invention of my spherical oil tanker that would have stopped all the oil spills in the ocean more than 30 years ago, with my invention of my water recycling system, which would have been a godsend to all the people that live in desert areas where the water shortages are high. I could have saved a lot of the world. But you know what? The world wants my ideas, but they don't want me. They're treating me just like Napoleon was treated. They wanted his Code Napoleon, but they didn't want him. Why? Because they said, oh no, he's too much of an ego trip. Well, they were ego trips too. This is all about ego trip fanaticism. This is all about fanaticism with fees, fanaticism with behavior modification, fanaticism with vicious cycle laws, fanaticism in every walk of life. You know that new show called Person of Interest? You should really watch that show, because that show probably tells you exactly what the government is doing. They'll never admit to it. They'll never say, yeah, that's what we do. And I don't know how much of this video is ever going to be aired, because someone is editing my videos. So I will leave comments on every one of my videos telling people that someone has been editing my videos and cutting and even censoring me on YouTube. And that is evil. A person who does that is exactly the person who is working for the federal government, who knows who I am, who's beat me down, and they're going to continue beating me down until I die. They want to extinguish a flame, that the flames that I represent are the flames of truth, justice, equality, compassion, common sense thinking, civil rights thinking. No, They want to extinguish that flame. They want to create a stealth-like totalitarianism, a dictatorship, a totalitarianism, a behavior modification. And that's what these people like doing. They like pushing those buttons and watching people jump through the hoops. Until a person like me is absolutely in charge in an absolute totalitarianistic dictatorship, that is what you would have to give me in order to go after every one of the people who's done me all these damages. But that's not going to happen. You know why? I'm sure a lot of you just watch these videos and laugh your head off. Many of you think that it's really funny. Many of you put me down. Many of you have your lousy, stinking opinions. But you know what makes you different from me? Doesn't matter whether you give an opinion good or bad about me. Here's the difference. You pay taxes somehow, some way. I don't. And I'm suffering for it. I'm suffering along with the children that you people have murdered by paying your taxes to the federal government and destroying innocent men, women, and children. It doesn't matter whether they're Arabs or Indians or Pakistanis or Palestinians or Israelis. It doesn't matter what you are. You pay taxes, you're guilty. You need to crush your governments, all of them, and get rid of them once and for all. You need to appoint one ruler, a worldwide ruler, not someone who's on an ego trip. It has to be someone who really doesn't want to do the job. I wouldn't want to do that job. But if it was given to me, I guarantee you I would go down throughout all the rest of human history as probably the only sovereign who didn't let power go to their head and who did put people, the right people, behind bars. Because let me tell you why people shouldn't kill each other. People couldn't kill each other not because of religion, but because the human race always develops these mutated forms of intelligent beings. Einstein, Pasteur, I could name dozens and dozens of people throughout history, but they're only handfuls. And these people represent the gene pool, natural selection. The gene pool, that's right, Darwin's concept of natural selection, and the gene pool producing people like Einstein, Pasteur, Salk, any of the people that have come up with great designs, great ideas, have gotten Nobel Prizes, who deserve the Nobel Prizes, because there are people who have gotten the Nobel Prize who don't deserve them. But these people pop up, and the reason why people shouldn't kill or maim people is because it interferes in the gene pool and it interferes in the natural selection process of producing super intelligent people. And this is what the government doesn't know. And even if they're in contact with aliens, the aliens don't know it either, because they're part of the whole thing in the whole universe. They don't have all the answers. The universe is too big for them too. They're idiots too. And so your job, I would say right now, your job is to understand that if you really want to change this government, change the world the way it is, and combat terrorism, and I call it quote unquote, these people aren't terrorists. Trust me, if I was in charge, the terrorists would be running from me. Just from the idea, the mention of my name, and they'd be running to hide someplace. And I would find them. Trust me, I'd find them, and I wouldn't have to kill even one of them to get them out of their little hiding places, wherever they're hiding. So, you listen to the rest of my videos. You know, NBC, CBS, CNN, ABC, they're all jerk-off fanatics. They are all Bilderberg puppets, Rockefeller puppets, DuPont puppets, Trilateral Commission puppets. The news media is bought and paid for. The oil companies are bought and paid for. The car companies. Heck, the president of Coca-Cola goes to the Bilderberg meetings. What's he doing there? Come on. You know, these people need to be taught a permanent lesson that will be heard throughout all of the rest of the history of mankind. You know, if you really want to really put people back to work, I could put people back to work. I've developed a new star drive system, and I call it a helium flash drive. And I know how to travel from areas of our solar system to other systems in our own galaxy as well as other galaxies. I know I'm making a very, very fantastic statement here, but I know how to travel from one to the other without a Stargate, without any of these so-called